Greetings and very welcome back to my humble neck of the YouTube woods. Today we are about to play Contra, the Anniversary Collection, specifically Contra 3, the Alien Wars, in the big finale of the Shan and Raza Cup. And this is my first attempt at this. As you can see, I'm blasting into the first level. Never played a Contra game before, so this is a new experience, and I'm quite rusty, generally speaking, at run and gun titles, and this is an interesting and quite difficult title, particularly when you're just starting it, because as you can see, it's quite fast paced. I haven't really mastered the items that I'm picking up. I have some sort of homing missiles at the moment, you see. If you get hit once, it's a life lost, and this challenge is a high score. I'm not the biggest fan of high score challenges myself, so I just kind of focused on my usual tactics of getting as far as I can and seeing how it goes. I'm hoping there's no cheat tactics where you can just kind of farm enemies or anything like that. Yeah, it's a really interesting game. So I'm trying to take out this door at the moment, this blockade. As you can see, the gun shooting at me on top, and every now and again an enemy comes from the left to keep you on your toes. This is a cool little segment where you hop into a tank and just mow everyone down and take on another gate. Now I died a lot on the first level, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to get used to it. And as I said, I just keep picking up power ups and hoping that they're decent. There, the bombs are quite handy. You press circle on this to use bombs. I usually save them for bosses. The bubble gives you invincibility, so I can just run past these bursting gas pipes. Yeah, so a new experience for me. This is a little mini boss here, which is pretty cool. There's lots of nice little mini bosses. I picked up a laser as well. Quite handy, this guy. My personal goal was just to beat the first level, to be honest with you, because I kept dying at certain spells, so I was going to be happy with whatever score I got once I beat the first level and the first boss. This is pretty cool now, electrifying flying in and napalm in place, so that the ground is going to become fire. And then you can do this kind of climbing section. You wait for your moment and you go across and avoid the little fireballs. I died here a lot getting used to the jumps, and I'm not confident on this particular one, so I shoot the first fireball until it disappears and then move forward. I actually ended up beating the first 2 levels without getting hit, without losing a life, but I think this run is noteworthy because up until that point I managed to get to the second boss, and it's just so funny how the third level all fell apart. I got absolutely annihilated in the third level because it was my first time on the level and I wasn't familiar with anything. This is the big entrance of the big first boss, guys. So as you can see, I stay low, I'm hitting them with the laser. I don't know what's best for the different bosses, and I'm using my bombs now just to try and tackle his little offspring, little minions that come out there. And boom! The first boss is down as I continue to shoot lasers into his mouth. Yeah, you get a pretty cool little image at the end and a score screen. I have no idea if you get bonus points for not losing a life or whatever, or not using bombs, etc. This is interesting. This is the second level and they switch things up. So you have a top-down view here, and it's quite awkward. You have these kind of tank controls where you press L1 and R1 just to turn the guy. Not familiar with this character's name. The goal of this level is to basically destroy all of those enemies that are hiding underground. So you basically go around the map and destroy the fortified enemies, and then that will send you to a boss map. I'm being cautious here, just like flicking around and trying to avoid everything that I can. I kind of like these wild, with these spread shots, but I think that's why you weak. It seems to, you know, takes more hits on enemies. Don't stand on those mines, obviously. If you just walk, even if you walk directly onto them, as long as you keep moving and don't stand there, you usually avoid the explosion. As you can see, that little blue explosion. But nonetheless, I did die a good few times on that. Just not moving fast enough or mixing up the controls. So yeah, this is a fun one, and one of the best things about this Shan Raza Cup experience is I get to play retro games that I've heard of, and I did hear of this series. But run and gun games, they must be up there with the least video game genre that I actually have experience in. So I did enjoy this, and I definitely feel it's one of those games that the more you play, it's definitely one of those titles that the more you play and the more you understand where the enemies come from, you know, you get far better at the game. When you go into the level the first couple of times and you're not sure where they're going to ambush you from and where the big dangers are, you die a lot, which is really self-evident in the third stage. Like the difference, I don't think I've been hit yet, and this is the second boss now. It's quite interesting. I'm not sure if these bubbles are a good weapon against it, but I just kind of cautiously, slowly but surely keep an eye on them and pick them off piece by piece, basically. But yeah, when I do hit the third level, you'll see, because I'm not familiar with the layout or the enemies, and there's a lot more climbing in the third level, it quickly all falls apart. So if I get another chance and a second attempt at this, when I get to the third level more frequently, you slowly but surely learn how to get a little bit further and a little bit further again and so on. I think I wasted some bombs on this boss. I had 3 bombs, and I don't think they have any effect on him, to be honest. I just thought it was taking a long time to actually beat him down. At this stage it's just the red eye at the front that I'm just slowly but surely trying to destroy. Flamethrower probably isn't the best weapon because I actually have to get you know, fairly close to him in order to do some damage, but I was just hoping that it was a strong weapon and it would beat him down over time. So yeah, I'm curious to see how many people will take part in the big finale. This was obviously chosen by Raza, and again it's a high score challenge, and I probably neglected to mention it's not a 1 life challenge. You can, if you're really making sure he's dying, basically it's 1 credit, so you can die all the way until you get the continuous score. And I have an alloy in this little clip. That's not a bad score, I think. I wish I added more to it. I wish I had more of an admirable run in the third level, but alas, it wasn't meant to be. This is where it all falls apart, guys. So this enemy comes, bam, 1 hit, 1 life lost. I didn't really know how to handle those new enemies. It turns out they're quite easy. You just shoot the kind of defensive ball that they have. I was trying to aim at their gun, and that didn't go too well. There's another hit from the sniper guy. So there you go. Now I know how to defeat those guys. This guy still gets it better than me though. And I fall down the hole, of course. And I jump into this enemy. That's something to note as well. Do not touch any enemy in this game, guys. You're gonna instantly die. Now these strange creatures here, apart from these guys. I think these actually just grab you and you shoot them and stop them from taking off, but I panicked and used the bomb, which is a little bit overkill, I think. And then this mini boss appears, which I didn't really know how to handle, but at this stage I was a little bit calmer, and I kind of thought that do some damage over time to make sure that his drill isn't out for when the platform goes around, so you don't get hit. And I do manage to defeat this guy, but he comes back with a vengeance shortly after, and I think he smashes me and finishes off the run attempt. So as you can see, he's defeated. I jump here, he falls out of screen, but he shoots a few missiles at me, and I climb forward a wee bit. You're supposed to jump onto that platform on the right, but I didn't notice. I kind of hesitated and took a hit. And this is the end of my run, guys. So best of luck. I love yous and leave yous. Look after yourselves and each other. Enjoy the competition, and Slán a bhaile.